We are live across the three major networks, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, and we are glad to be here on a Wednesday night with you. Welcome in.
Yeah, remember the 5th of November. Guy Fawkes Day, right? You say it Fawkes?
Oh, that's
Is that how
right.
you say it?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Fawkes, Guy Fawkes. Or
And
I think that's the correct
yeah, I
pronunciation,
think you're right
not
about
the other word. Okay,
that.
just making sure. Just
I don't know
making
why I
sure.
looked out the window like I was. I mean, there's been a lot of protesters here in Chicago, so maybe
Right,
that's
right. Are they wearing their V for Vendetta masks? Like, oh, we're gonna
probably.
firework up the Capitol. Also, I would just like to point out, I have the shades in this room open. Like I was expecting to get light in. I forgot about that whole daylight savings time thing. Not a lot of light being able to be shown in
Well,
through the old blinds,
it's
as it
bedtime
were.
stories with Mike and Molson.
Yes, that's
Well,
exactly it.
something horrible is going to happen on November 10th.
What is that?
It is the 50th anniversary of the sinking of the Edmund Fitzgerald,
Oh God,
which means we're going to be tortured by that god awful song.
it is a terrible song. How
Yeah.
did that get to be number one? Is my
I don't
question.
know, and I don't know what our weird attraction is to tragedy and death, and why we are so attracted to that in song, in movies. I don't know. I don't know.
But yet here we are.
Now
Gordon
this,
Lightfoot, rest his soul.
yeah,
He will
God.
not be around to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald.
So the story I understand was Gordon Lightfoot, shortly after the sinking of this ship, reads an article in Newsweek, Time, something like that, um,
Newsweek.
and just gets so compelled that he feels like he has to write a song about this, and
Mm-hmm.
it just
Yeah.
becomes part of his world. And what he ends up with is, I don't know why we like this song. I mean, the collective
It,
we, not you and me, we. You and me, we
I know,
hate
I
it.
know. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's very dirgy.
Yeah.
I may have been topical or something along those lines. He did take some, and even if fully admits, I read an entire article about this because I knew we were going to speak about it. Because if you're just new to our channel, our YouTube channel, go back and listen to the dismantling we did years ago of this song. That I started as a fan of the song because my dad was a fan of Gordon Lightfoot, and as you broke it down for me, Johnny, I became to detest this song
Yeah.
because of the artistic license that one Gordon Lightfoot takes in kind of putting the pieces together. Now, he fully admits as he got older, apparently, he changed some of the lyrics
Oh,
of
really?
the song when he would perform it live.
Okay.
He would, because when the hatchway gave in, he got a lot of blowback from people saying, "Hey, these guys were professionals.
Yeah.
That wouldn't have been an issue."
Let's
Like
not get
that, and
ahead of
that wasn't an
ourselves.
issue.
That'll come up.
Okay. So,
Let's not get ahead of
okay.
ourselves.
Okay. Okay. But long story short, he changed that, and then
Okay.
there was something about the mess hall. He had used kind of a word that they took offense to, so he changed it to rustic. Now he refused to go back and re-record the song with the new
Right.
lyrics, saying that that would ruin the integrity of the original product. But as he aged, when he would perform live, he would substitute the new lyrics
All
in
right.
deference to the seafaring folk who made him so popular.
God. Shut up, Lightfoot.
Yeah,
All
shut
right.
up, Gordon.
So, and I think it needs to be said that, truthfully, very little is known about this wreck, and that's the problem. I mean, he's created
Correct.
a
They didn't find any of the
story
bodies.
where we don't really know what the story is. He has invented this story, and so very little is known about. It's legitimately a tragedy. But let's step through this thing, and you start to see where this damn song falls apart. All right, so he begins
Okay.
saying, "The legend lives on from the Chippewa on down of the big lake they call Gitche Gumee." All right,
Just fun to say Gitchy Gumi.
right, and see, that's what's kind of bananas about this is it's the Ojibwe, which was another name for the Chippewa, and they referred to it as Anishinaabe Gitchigami.
Oh, so not Gumi.
No.
So right off the bat, first lyric,
And
he's
there's
he's
another
already
one.
screwed that up.
Yeah, and you can see that the Ojibwe gives the name of Ochipui Kichigami.
Okay.
Gitchigumi comes from Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, the Song of Hiawatha. He said it, and so Gordon Lightfoot
Okay.
said it.
Okay. God
So he's
bless.
already
He's already
making
0
up
for
shit.
1. Yeah, already making up shit. First lyric in,
Yep.
he's already making shit up. And that's easily, you can look back, and that was easily kind of, even back then, you could have gone to your local library and
He could
looked
have
it up there,
asked.
Gordon.
He could have
Yeah,
asked,
you could
but
have
the
asked.
reason he does it
Yeah.
is so that he can do a rhyme coming up. He wants to say gloomy, so he had to say Gitchy Goomy.
Get you Gumi, not
The lake,
Gami.
it said, never
Okay.
gives up its dead when the skies of November turn gloomy, with a load of iron ore, 26,000 tons, more than the Edmund Fitzgerald weighed empty. The good ship was true. The good ship and true was a bone to be chewed when the gales of November come early.
Now, interesting. I don't know if you know in your research, but apparently, from what I read, the Edmund Fitzgerald consistently was like the number one hauler of this iron ore and
Yeah,
consistently would break its own record
yeah,
to the point where one of the captains, not the captain on the ship the day it goes down, but one of the captains apparently used to blast music as they would go through and people would come out and he would wave at them as he would blast this music as the Edmund Fitzgerald would go on its merry way.
yeah. Probably good music. Probably not none of this garbage like Gordon Lightfoot.
No, he would have broken that record.
Right. It then says the ship was the pride of the American side, coming back from some mill in Wisconsin. As big freighters go, it was bigger than most, with a crew and captain well seasoned, concluding some terms with a couple of steel firms when they left fully loaded for Cleveland. The
Any of
hell
that
they
right?
did. No.
Okay.
Um, it, 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 it would pick up iron ore near Duluth, and it would go to an ironworks in Detroit. So it was not headed to Cleveland.
Okay.
Okay.
Not even the right state.
Right. Right. Now, on this particular night, it did leave from Superior, Wisconsin, which is across the river from Duluth, and it was en route to a steel mill near Detroit, not Cleveland. Gordon.
Yeah, Gordo. Come on, you son of a bee.
And then he gives what is arguably just a weather forecast. He goes through this whole thing.
Yes.
Later that night, when the ship bell rang, could it be the north wind? They feeling the wind and the wires made a tattletale sound, and the wave broke over the railing. Every man knew, and the captain did too. 'Twas the witch of Nuremberg. So it's just weather. He's just telling you the
Yes.
weather. He spends a whole verse.
He's trying to paint a picture, Johnny.
Well,
Give the dead man a break. He's trying to paint a picture at least.
it's too long.
Yes, very
All right.
much so.
Now, for reasons nobody fully understands, he absolutely screws over the cook.
Yes. That comes out of left field, out of
Yeah.
nowhere.
When supper time came, the old cook came on deck saying, "Fellas, it's too rough to feed ya." At 7 p.m., a main hatchway caved in. He said, "Fellas, it's been good to know ya." So, that one thing happened, and apparently it's the cook who just says, "We're all gonna die."
We're dead. Sorry, I can't feed you. And then so there's the one too that got people pissed off. That's because they said the main hatchway caved in. No recollection, no evidence whatsoever. And everyone immediately jumped on Gordon Life and said, "Hey, this was a seasoned crew.
Yeah.
They had been doing this forever. That would not have been the reason why that son of a bitch and ship went down. And by the way, the cook was my father, and he was a bravest son of a bitch on that ship."
It's exactly. Why do you got to do a guy like that?
Yeah, ridiculous.
Now, there is speculation because it was in some of the radio calls back and forth that one of the hatchways where they load the iron ore wasn't sealed completely, and so water
Oh,
was
okay.
coming in and weighing the ship down.
Them down.
Okay.
Okay.
So shortly after 3:30, Captain McSorley, that was the captain of the Fitzgerald, radioed the Arthur Anderson, that was another ship that was in the water at the time, that it was taking on water and lost 2 vent covers and a fence railing. You know what? That's scary and would be a much better lyric.
Very much so. Then the main hatchway gave in, and the chef just said, "Hey," or cook
Right.
said, "Hey, nice to know you."
Yeah. And the vessel was starting to tip. I mean, that's
Yeah, that's not
legitimately
great.
scary. That's haunting.
It
And he
is
just
much
says
better than his story.
the hatchway caved in, and fellas, see ya. I'm
Good, nice
outie.
to know you. Instead of us almost dipping and diving, that's
Right.
way scarier. You're
It
right.
is. It is, and this is like 4 hours before the ship goes down. The captain wired he had water coming in, and the good ship and crew was in peril. Later that night, when his lights went out of sight, came the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. He's now he's challenging the veracity of the captain
Correct.
because the captain was heard to say, "Don't allow nobody on deck," as well as something about a vent. So that's how we know that maybe some water was
Yeah.
coming in
About the vent.
through the ventway.
Right.
Sometime later, McSorley told Woodard, that's the captain of the other ship, "I have a bad list. I've lost both radars. I'm taking heavy seas over the deck of one of the worst seas I've ever been in."
So scary once again.
Scary,
Why
but
do we
that
say that?
shows a captain who's in control of his vessel and his crew. It doesn't show
Correct.
the good ship and crew was in peril because water was coming in. It makes it sound like he got on the radio and went, ah.
He wasn't. He was
No,
doing his damnedest to try to pull this thing out of it. But unfortunately, also, I love how he just said, "Hey, the lights went out. It was night. They died. That's how it was wrecked." He
right.
doesn't get any more specific, doesn't say anything about the vents, doesn't think anything about the list, nothing along those lines. Just, "Hey, the lights went out, and that's when they sank."
At approximately 7:10, uh, Arthur M. Anderson notified Edmund Fitzgerald of an upbound ship and asked how she was doing. McSorley reported, "We're holding our own," and that's the last thing they ever heard.
Yeah.
Again, I find that a lot more haunting.
Oh, that they were just like, "Oh, we're okay," and then they just
And that was
disappeared.
it. Yeah, I mean
Yeah,
that's
that
a
was the
that's a
last thing you
very
heard.
scary detail in there. That the last thing they heard was, "Hey, we're doing all right," and then that was it. There was no other communication with the ship after that, and there was no distress signal. I mean, that's how quick this thing came
That
apart.
thing, huh?
Now, Mike,
Did the Arthur M. Anderson ever try to contact back?
yeah,
Or did they just say, okay,
yeah, they did. They tried, and they called the Coast Guard, and no, it was just gone. It was gone from radar. It was,
okay,
I mean,
just
it
gone.
just
Gotcha.
by all accounts, when it went down fast. And so yeah, they
So
sent out search crews pretty quickly. Um,
okay.
and
So I was
and
gonna
it
say,
was
I was
just
thinking about writing "The Failure of the Arthur M. Anderson"
right,
as my follow-up, as a B-side to it
right.
on the 50th anniversary.
Pick up the
If they
phone,
never check
Arthur
back
M.
in,
Anderson.
and we couldn't find him or ring him.
Now, at this point, we're 3 minutes into the song.
Okay.
It's a
And he's
six and a
gotten
half
pretty
minute
much
song.
and he's pretty much got nothing right, except the name of the ship and what they were carrying.
The remainder of the song, the next 3.5 minutes, is nothing. Is nothing.
I do love the next line, probably one of the most bleak lines in the
Yeah.
history of music ever.
Does anyone know where the love of God goes when the waves turn the minutes to hours? Now this little tidbit is interesting. Well, and then he says, and look at this. I mean, he admits that he's speculating. They might have split up. They might have capsized. They may have broke deep and took water. I mean,
Yeah,
he's as
your
much
guess is
saying,
good as mine.
I don't know.
Your guess is as good as mine, but I do know one thing: the cook was a wuss and the captain was terrible.
Right.
Is
The
what he's
cat.
saying in the song.
And then the rest of the song is just nothing. It's just nothing. It's just, oh, it's sad. People died. The families are sad. There's a cathedral in Detroit that rings bells every November. There's nothing left to the song. There's nothing left to the song.
But he does go back to Get Your Gumi, right? We get another reappearance at Get Your Gumi.
He does go back to Gitchy Gumi and kind of repeats the opening line once again.
It's kind of like almost like a high school like creative writing assignment. where you start with your thesis or whatever, or your term paper, and then you kind of restructure it, end with the same thing you started
Yeah.
with.
Right.
That's what
Right.
it feels like Godo did.
Tell him what you're
Yeah,
going to say it, and then tell him what you said. Right. That's exactly what he did there.
correct. Yes.
And so when people say, "Oh my gosh, that story in the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, it's so sad." There's no story there. It is what that is. There's nothing there.
No, he didn't give you much details, and the
No.
details he does give you are easily proved wrong
Yeah,
with
they're
just
wrong.
minimal research.
He concocts some stuff. He throws brave sailors under the bus for some reason, for no reason. He just does it,
Right.
and it's
What did
not
the
even
cook ever
called
do to him?
Gitchy Goomy.
That yeah, that son of a bitch. If
I
I
know.
was, you know what? If I was the cook's family, I would have sued him for defamation a long time ago.
Absolutely,
That's just me.
absolutely.
That's just me.
I would.
Well,
Yeah.
from this, I was gonna say, from the sinking of a ship to the sinking of a relationship.
Oh
How
wow. How
about
about
this?
that?
How about that story, huh? We got this lady who has taken to Reddit, the nexus of the internet, and she asked advice because her boyfriend kind of sprung a public proposal on her. She is 22. She shared what began as a family celebration turned into a deeply confusing and painful moment that left both her and her boyfriend hurt. She explained that her and her boyfriend, he's 24, she's 22, have been together for 3 years after meeting in college. She says things have been good between us for the most part, and that while we had talked about the future, she had always been clear that she wasn't ready for marriage just yet because she's 22 years old. All right. The woman said the hesitation came from watching her mother struggle after giving up her career for family life. She said, I've made it a personal goal to build something for myself before I even think about marriage. So, okay, I get that. She wanted her own career first before jumping into marriage. I understand that. She continues on. She explained, according to her, her boyfriend knew about her feelings and they had a few emotional conversations about it, which she believed he understood. So she says, hey, listen, we talked it over and he should know that I'm just not ready for it yet. But here it comes. She goes, a few weeks before posting, the couple attended his parents' anniversary party, a big family event filled with relatives and friends. Towards the end, his dad gave a short speech, then handed the microphone to her boyfriend, saying he had something to say.
Oh boy.
So here we are at mom and dad's anniversary. She's already said, "Hey, listen, bub, I'm not ready for marriage." Dad gives a short little speech about love and says, "Yeah, come up here, my boy. My boy's got something important to say." And
Oh
she kind of
no.
knows what's coming, right? The entire fam's around. She can feel it. At first, she thought he was going to toast his parents, but instead, he turned to her, got down on one knee, and pulled out a ring.
Mm,
Ev- Everyone started clapping and cheering. They don't even give her a chance to weigh in.
right.
Immediately, they assumed that since he pulled the trigger, this was a definite yes. So they're all like, "Yay, whoopee! Mom and dad's anniversary, and now we got another anniversary we're going to celebrate, I should say." She just froze in the moment and felt the pressure of all eyes on her. She went on to say, I honestly didn't know what to do. I didn't want to embarrass him or make a scene in front of his family, especially not during his parents' party. So I said yes, because she's just going along to get along at the time. She's like, how the hell I get out of this? I'm just going to say yes. Once the word left her mouth, the crowd erupted in celebration.
Right.
Everyone was congratulating us, taking pictures. His mom was crying. She said, though, behind that facade, she felt physically ill. So everyone else is celebrating, and she's like, I'm sick to my stomach
Hmm.
because I've I don't know what to do. I just said yes when I really didn't want to. She continues. The woman said she waited until they were finally alone to tell him the truth. She goes, as soon as we got a moment alone, I asked him to talk privately, which is never good, by the
Right.
way. When someone says, hey, I gotta talk to you over here. She said, I told him that I loved him, but I couldn't accept the proposal, not right now. So we have the giant celebration in front of his entire family,
Oh, mercy.
and we get to a private moment at home, and she goes, "Yeah, that I just said yes because there's a lot of pressure in that moment.
I don't
You're gonna have to
blame
tell
her.
everybody to." No, I don't either. Like, what are you supposed to do? Break his heart in front of everybody?
Well, I mean, and we've all been in those situations where you've got to say something in a snap moment, and something just comes out, and it's not the right thing, and that's what happened here, I
Correct.
think.
Well, and she didn't want to end the relationship. I think that's why
Right?
she said yes. If she says no in that moment with everyone looking, there's no going back. There's never going to be a
No.
good Christmas. There's never going to be a good holiday with that family. She's screwed.
Yeah.
She can she can put it off now and say, "Hey, in the moment we got caught up in the celebration and there was love in the air because it's the anniversary, but you know what? We're going to take our time a little bit. Doesn't mean it's not going to happen. We're just going to pump the brakes for a second." So she reminded him that she had already been upfront about not being ready for marriage, but his reaction left her feeling even worse. He was really quiet for a while, then said I'd embarrass him more by saying yes and then changing my mind later. Her boyfriend left the party early and things were tense between them. Oh, so she didn't even wait till they got home.
Yeah.
She did
He
it
just
at a private moment at the party.
yeah. She grabbed him by the ear and said, "Get over here. I gotta talk to you for."
Yeah, exactly. Can we have a private moment over here? So he leaves. She's there. She said things were tense between them afterward. His mom called me later and said I led him on and ruined what was supposed to be a
Oh.
special night
Oh.
for their family.
Oh,
So
mom.
he goes, what is he doing going to mama?
Right.
That's a between you like eventually mom needs to know, but not that night. And you don't have to get mom involved to call her and say you ruined everything.
Yeah. I mean, unless he
Uh,
was like standing on the roof threatening to jump, maybe that's what was going
well,
on.
there's that.
Hey, did she
There is
walk
that
around
part.
and wear the ring? Did you keep that on during the party?
Ooh, I don't know if it goes in that specifics. I don't
Mhm.
think so. She said the woman said she never intended to hurt anyone, that the situation had spiraled out of control. I didn't mean to hurt him or lie. I only said yes because I didn't want to reject him in front of everyone.
Yeah.
But I can see how it might have made things worse.
That is
So there's
brutal.
a lot of different people. Yeah. One commenter wrote, public proposals are awful, and I don't blame you for freezing and saying yes.
Yeah.
I'll bet if you'd said no, he'd have been angry that you humiliated him in front of everyone too. So he just didn't listen to you at all and decided, even though you said I'm not ready for marriage, and he deserved it.
It's a no-win situation, and a wedding proposal should never be a surprise. I know that looks really good in the movies and everything, and in poems. It's just have that conversation, and then maybe the proposal itself. You don't know when it's going to happen, but you better know the answer before you ask the question.
Correct. You shouldn't ask someone to marry you who has said I'm not ready for marriage numerous times to you,
Hmm.
saying I need to establish myself first. And you go, ah, she doesn't know what she's talking about. The anniversary party is there. I'm just going to capitalize on the cool vibes, and that way I don't have to call everybody back when I'm actually going to do it.
Right.
Idiot.
Greg says saying the wrong thing at the wrong time, like trying to say a bad limerick on the monkey line while drunk. Nobody could tell you were
No
nobody could tell you were drunk, Greg.
one. No, no. Not anyone watching this show.
No.
If they're willing to watch this show, they would no idea. They're probably drunk themselves. So you're
Absolutely.
just fine, Greg. You're just fine, Greg. Well, we go from that lady to I don't believe much of this story whatsoever. These people actually did walk down the aisle, and they want us to believe that they never kissed until the pastor said, "You may now kiss the bride." Do you believe any of that, Johnny?
No.
These two are from Texas. They're Caitlin and Drew Brown.
All right.
Uh, they decided to wait until their wedding day to have their first kiss. They explained why holding out was worth it despite immense online backlash. The pair, who are non denominational Christians, started dating. They decided immediately they wanted to wait until marriage to have sex. So I thought there may have been a loophole there
Yeah.
of, yeah, they hadn't kissed, but maybe other things had happened beforehand. They're
Right.
like, yeah, we can do the other things. Who wants a kiss? I'll give you the
Mm-hmm.
full, I paid $20 experience.
Right. I didn't say no dry humping.
Right, exactly. So they said, for, which, by the way, the worst thing ever invented.
For everybody. For
Uh,
everybody.
For everyone. For everyone. It's just rug burns and
Yeah.
corduroy problems and Bad zipper
just
burn. It's just
aching, and
terrible.
yeah, everything is all out of place.
Everything's
Um,
goofed when it comes to that. So they said, for us personally, we knew our top love language was physical touch. And knowing that we wanted to be wise in our approach to boundaries, we discerned that for our relationship, it was crucial to talk about and lay a foundation of protection on the physical element.
wow.
We decided that kissing could be a gateway that leads to physical intimacy that we wanted to share for marriage. So what they're saying is kissing is the weed of sex. It's the gateway drug to penetration.
So that they
Kissing
have
is.
so they have no self-control whatsoever, that a peck on the cheek or a kiss on the lips is just next thing you know, they're gonna be ripping their clothes off?
Apparently so, because they said that their love language is physical touch, Johnny, and just that sweet, sweet pucker of the lips is going to lead them to want to just bang it out. So they said we decided kissing could be a gateway, leads to physical intimacy. We want to save that for marriage. While she said their families have been nothing but supportive of their decision, they faced immense backlash online. Well, why are you taking it online?
Right. That's suspicious
Why are you
right there.
going? Hey, yeah, exactly. That is very suspicious. People have a lot of different opinions about a relationship and ask so many questions. But honestly, Drew and I love getting to answer those questions and share insight into our relationship, as well as why behind our decision to wait on kissing and physical intimacy until marriage. What if you find out? I get it. You want to save the sex for marriage. That's your choice. What do you find out? They're an awful kisser and they're terrible in bed.
Yeah. That I mean, that well, it almost sound maybe they have nothing to compare it to, so whatever it is will be great.
Could be. They're both just 22.
Yeah.
Two tied the knot earlier this month, and moments after they said their I do's, they locked lips for the first time as 160 of their friends and family members watched. And Caitlin said, waiting for the big day for the kiss made the moment so special. Said our wedding day was truly magical, one of the best days of our lives. We finally shared our first kiss. The eruption from the crowd was unlike anything I've ever heard. So many people told us afterward they never heard a crowd cheer and scream that loudly for a first kiss. It was truly unforgettable. There's a moment I'll cherish for the rest of my life. Did they just go? Did they go and then like have sex in the bathroom because the kiss
Right.
was going to be the gateway into banging it out.
Off we
So
go. You know,
yeah,
that we touched on something interesting there of, is it possible at 22, 23 to have never kissed anybody romantically?
possibly more than likely.
I mean, they're
I
they're a nice
mean,
looking
for me,
couple.
yeah,
Nobody in high school or junior high ever tried to, get under the bra. You know how you do when you're
possibly. Possibly, yeah, possibly, but it seems like, they're non-denominational Christians, and they maybe that opportunity never afforded itself. Didn't for me in high school. It
Yeah.
was 21 when I had, so it's not out of the realm of possibility that
No.
they don't know what they're missing, but I find it interesting that you would wait for the kiss until marriage.
Yeah.
Like
I think they've probably
this.
made out with other people in the past.
Oh, you think so?
I think so.
You think well, if they're that worried about kissing leading to doing it,
Yeah.
then I don't know. I wouldn't agree if they were saving themselves for marriage when it comes to the sex.
How do they know what it's gonna? How do they know? I
And by
don't.
the way,
I bet they're not. I bet they're not kissing virgins. I bet they're not. I bet they're kissing whores.
they're just kissing everyone all over the place. They
Uh,
were their whore mouths were all
yeah.
over people
Yeah.
over the years.
Blah, blah, blah.
Well, I will say this. I think I understand saving yourself for marriage is a religious thing, but it would make it a little sus for me of like what is going on with your area that you're afraid for anyone to see it. What exactly is going on down there?
That's
That's
that's a
just me.
that's reasonable.
So those
Well,
crazy kids, God bless them. And I'm glad they finally lock lips.
yeah, me too. Me too. All right. This is what you get for having fun.
Oh, but this is crazy.
This is bananas. This father and son from Idaho Falls were on an excursion in Southeast Asia and decided to go zip lining. Um, and I guess on the way down, they were swarmed by murder hornets.
Yeah. What?
I
Shouldn't you have
wonder,
a waiver for that?
yeah, when do you think it stopped being fun and started being scary? Because ziplining is already scary. So you're probably going,
Correct.
ah, and then you're going, ah. I mean, how'd you be able to tell?
That's a great question of did they die because there wasn't medical professionals ready for them when they got done with the zip line because the screams people thought were just them getting out the anxiety of ziplining and not realizing they were being just
Yeah.
pelted and stung by these murder hornets.
Hey, those guys, those nice guys from America having a good time over there. The hornets swarmed over them and their guide as they struggled to descend from a tree, according to a source. Asian giant hornets, also referred to as murder hornets, are the world's largest, and they have spread to the UK and here in the United States. The pair were reportedly covered in red spots, hundreds
Ah,
of painful stings all over the body. Somebody said, I've never seen it as bad as that. UK reports the father and son were conscious when they arrived, but showed no symptoms of anaphylactic shock, so they weren't allergic. It was just they got stung to death after ziplining. They
good
were
lord.
transferred after less than an hour to a provincial hospital where they died a few hours later. Absolutely incredible. Ziplining in the
Ugh,
Green Jungle Park, which extends into the deepest parts there of Southeast Asia. Um, Unforeseeable and extraordinary natural occurrence is what the park uh, officials are saying. This event
of course
is
it is.
unprecedented in our experience, and to our understanding, it's never happened in Long Prabang. It was unforeseeable and extraordinary.
Yeah, unforeseeable indeed. Not extraordinary for them. But the fact they're dead from ziplining through murder hornet
Right.
territory. Poor bastards.
Yeah. Good Lord. What a. I mean, that's a. And then there is sort of that adventurer thing of, wow, what a way. I mean, what a you can't
Yeah,
really tell the story, but the story will be told of you that you went on this amazing adventure and died in the most incredible jungle manner. I mean, if you're going to die in a jungle,
it is.
it's got to be a jungle death.
Right. I think out of falling from zip line and hitting branches on the way down, dying that way, uh, to being killed by murder hornets,
Hmm.
which are in the actual title of the animal itself,
Yeah,
that's a much more compelling story.
right. One is just Butterfingers. The other one is holy
Right.
crap, you really had an adventure.
Correct.
So
And then you have
good for them.
they have a fun story, like not fun story, but they have an adventurous story. To your point,
I got something.
at the wake, like when you read the obituary, when you read died by murder hornet sting while ziplining, you go, those sons of bitches lived life.
It's not
They
nothing.
knew they knew how to have a good time.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of rip roaring good time, let's introduce you to this wonderful woman. God bless her. Her and her husband. This is Leilani Sullivan, by the way, Johnny.
How you doing
Good
there,
old
Leilani?
24-year-old Leilani Sullivan. Uh, Authorities in Florida were called to her home in Polk County. And she was arrested October 15th and charged with domestic violence, battery by strangulation, battery on a firefighter, and 2 counts of resisting an officer. Let me set the scene for you, all
Good
right?
Lord.
So deputies called to this home in Polk City, all right? And when they show up, they Sullivan's husband told him his wife had been very intoxicated and started screaming and cursing. The argument, authorities said, escalated quickly. Sullivan allegedly choked her husband to the point where he couldn't breathe.
Christ.
He could not breathe. The arrest affidavit reads plainly. Sheriff Grady Judd
Oh yeah.
recounted the scene in a Facebook video.
Oh, that's a
By the
great
way, what a
Florida sheriff name. That is a great
I'm,
Florida sheriff name.
I'm Sheriff Grady Judd,
Oh.
and here is this story about this rip roaring good time drunkard named Leilani Sullivan. So Grady recounted the scene in a Facebook video. He said, "Oh brother, she got rip roaring drunk." He said, "Took off every bit of her clothes. When we found her, she was in the front yard of the house after biting and slapping around her husband who dialed 911. So we tried to arrest her, and she didn't like that at all." Deputies say Sullivan fought with them as they tried to place her in handcuffs, ignoring multiple commands to stop resisting. At one point, she ended up in a ditch, still unclothed.
Oh my God.
So, Leilani Sullivan has already tapped out her husband, slapped him around to the point where he's got to call Sheriff Grady Judd. Deputies show up. She's nude. They're trying to arrest her. She ends up in a ditch, still naked, naked as a jaybird. That's when fire and rescue arrive because she's stuck in a ditch. Now they got the fire and rescue in because she's stuck down there, naked as a jaybird, no clothes on. So they call fire and rescue, and a firefighter and a female deputy tried to help Sullivan get dressed. That too ended badly, as Sullivan allegedly struck the firefighter in the chest during the attempt to cover her, prompting another struggle before she was finally taken into custody.
Oh my God.
So the firefighter reaches for her, stuck in this ditch.
Right.
She
Just trying
then
to help.
punches him in the she punches him in the chest, then elbows the deputy, the female deputy, till they finally get her some clothes on. The sheriff affidavit paints a vivid picture of the mayhem: an angry, thrashing suspect, arm swinging, officers wrestling her into handcuffs, a crowd of first responders trying to maintain control. While attempting to take Leilani into custody, the deputy wrote, Leilani became very angry and aggressive and actively tugging and pulling away. He wrapped up his recounting of the incident with something resembling a moral, half warning, half punchline. He said, quote, how much do you have to drink to rip off all your clothes, slap your husband around, bite him, and lay down in the front yard? I
And
can't answer that, but Leilani can. By the way, she's being she's being held in Polk County Jail on $16,000 bond and is scheduled to appear in court for arraignment on November 18th.
I
Ladies
bet
and
she woke
gentlemen, the
up.
ballad of Leilani Sullivan.
Yes. I bet she woke up the next morning and said, "Oh my God, that was amazing. I had the wildest time last night."
Was that a dream or was that real?
Yeah.
Did I
No,
really choke you out?
she's telling everybody about that.
Yeah. Did I go full Ken Shamrock or full Hoyt Gracie and choke your ass out and then slap you around to the point where you had to call 911 and then I
Uh,
beat ass on that firefighter? And was I
I'll
naked doing that?
I'll watch that Lifetime movie.
Oh God, yes. I'll watch it definitely. Twice.
Yep.
Make that a Hallmark Christmas movie.
Oh.
Leilani comes home for Christmas. Please. All the holiday spirits.
Hey, have you been following the case of the man who threw a sandwich at an FBI agent?
I read about this. This all came from like protests and the ICE stuff, and this guy got mad and threw like a Subway sandwich, right?
This is in D.C., where the
Right.
president has sent the military in to clean
Oh,
up the
that's right.
city,
That's what it was.
and so
Yes.
they're in D.C. And this guy, who also, much like Leilani, was rip roaring drunk, and is yelling at these guys, and it finally ends in him chucking a sandwich at this officer.
Oh, look at that! Look at that speed.
So yeah, he cocks back and just there you go.
Whipped it. I wonder how much he paid for that sandwich.
Um, that's part of the story is they're not sure if it's a 6 inch or a foot long. He purchased it at Subway. It's a salami sandwich
Okay.
that he had just purchased at Subway, and just and
That,
so
the officer's lucky that it didn't hit him in the face.
well that's and so the question is that the definition
Assault,
of
brother.
assault?
I guess in the legal terminology, probably yes.
Because initially the government tried to bring him in on a felony charge and the grand jury wouldn't have it. And so now they're on a misdemeanor charge. And we are now in the third day of the trial that
Oh
was
my God.
supposed to be pretty easy. Okay.
I was gonna say
And
a 3-day trial for throwing a sandwich. That seems a bit of a waste of resources, but that's just me.
Well, the officer is standing his ground that he was assaulted. The guy has fully admitted, yep, that was me. I threw the sandwich. And so a reporter has been in there watching the whole thing. Yesterday, the officer said he could feel the impact of the sandwich through his ballistic vest. It exploded, Mike, all over my uniform. I could smell onions and mustard.
Are those good choices to put on a bologna sandwich? Onions and mustard. I'm okay with
Salami.
mustard, but not onions. Oh,
Salami.
salami. Pardon me.
Yeah.
Is that still a good choice? Onions on salami? I don't know. I'm not a salami eater.
Now, yeah, that's probably what you put on there. Now, the defense jumped on that and said, you don't see there's mustard on it. You can't tell there's ketchup on it, mayonnaise, lettuce, tomato. In fact, the sandwich hasn't exploded at all. Witnesses say the sandwich looks bent and out of shape.
It did look a little floppy
Yeah.
when he went to throw it. And
But,
by the way, if that guy can feel that through the vest, then sign that guy up for Major League Baseball. If he's throwing a sandwich that hard, that a bulletproof vest, you could
yeah,
feel the impact of that sandwich.
this thing
Sign
is
him up. The Cubs could use him in the bullpen. They need some
absolutely,
power arms.
absolutely. And so, yeah, I mean, if you look, the sandwich hardly explodes, right?
No, it bends in half. That's about it. And I didn't see any mustard come out. I didn't even see a stain on that guy's vest.
Closing arguments began a few hours ago, and with the government saying everybody has a right to their personal beliefs. However, that does not give them the right to touch another person, to strike another person, even if it is with a sandwich.
I would I would tend to agree that you shouldn't be throwing sandwiches, but I don't think you need a misdemeanor assault charge either. Maybe just
And
a fine.
and that's where this is hanging, is they're trying to define whether or not this is assault. Now, you don't necessarily have to make contact with somebody for it to be assault. It could be a verbal
True,
assault. You can you
true.
can threaten
Yeah.
somebody. You can just brandish a weapon, and that's considered assault. And so right now, then they start having these conversations about the verbs. Did he throw it? Was it forcible? Did he throw it hard? The jury must find that the sandwich guy acted forcibly, which can be shown through attempt to inflict bodily harm. Assault is any attempt or threat to inflict a physical injury, however small, including touching, offensive to a person of reasonable sensibility. So they're getting down into this stupid nitty gritty. Um, the injury, the government says, isn't the layman's definition, but the legal one. Hit with a sandwich. Having a sandwich spiked into your chest. Is that offensive to a person of reasonable sensibilities? Certainly. We have assault. Your Honor.
I don't I don't know if I would point of parliamentary procedure. I object. Um, it's not pleasant, but I don't think there was an intent to harm by that guy. Right? Like there are
Right.
times when you just get flustered and you're mad about something and you throw something. I don't think you should, but once again, I don't know if that rises to the level of assault from what I
Yeah.
saw.
I mean, you get hit in the chest with a sandwich, even if you're not wearing a ballistic bulletproof vest. Don't you just kind of look at your chest and go, what the hell was that all about? You
Right.
weirdo?
We all have that drunk friend who gets a little too upset about things
Right.
too quickly and they throw stuff or they'll hit you and you're like, okay, fine, just go away. I
Yeah.
don't think there was any intent for that guy. I think he was hammered. I think he was annoyed and he just said, F it, I'm gonna throw this sandwich.
It's like your wife gets really mad at you and there's nothing else around but a pillow. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Come on now.
Defense begins. This case, ladies and gentlemen, is about a sandwich. A sandwich that, according to Agent Larimore, somehow both exploded on his chest in a spray of mustard and onions, but also landed intact on the ground, still in its Subway wrapper. A sandwich that Larimore testified he somehow felt through his ballistic armor chest, armor that is specifically made strong enough that stops a bullet from piercing a soldier's heart. Wherever he found this attorney, I love this attorney.
I do too. This attorney is making valid points.
So they're saying assault requires a reasonable fear of immediate bodily harm. None exists given the agent's long sleeve shirts, long pants, boots, gloves, and ballistic vest. created to keep you safe from military rifle fire. It's definitely going to keep you safe from a sandwich. And then,
I think we all could agree on that point, Your Honor.
the attorney goes on to say it's like your 8-year-old is in the middle of a tantrum and throws a stuffed animal. Are you offended? Are you scared? Did you suffer bodily injury? No.
You're upset, yes, when they
So
throw something like that, but you're not injured.
as of this live broadcast, the jury is still deliberating this. It's probably going to go into now a fourth day.
Oh, good
And they keep
lord.
coming back
4
trying to
days for
figure out,
Sandwich Man?
yeah, trying to figure out if this rises to the level of being actually assaulted or is it just obnoxious, for which there really is no law.
I would say it's obnoxious.
Yeah.
That would be my if I was on the jury, I would say obnoxious, not assault, but I can see where some people would be letter of the law, it's assault because man, it's just a sandwich.
Yeah.
I guess let me ask you this. Does the con does this is going to sound ridiculous and this whole story is ridiculous. If it was if it was a French bread, that may inflict injury because that has a more solid
A little harder crust.
exterior crust.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it's anything but that, I don't think it's assault. But if it's French bread, I
Eh,
think probably assault.
Subway bread is pretty floppy.
Well, it's obvious in that from the throw that it breaks pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Like
It's
breakaway glass there. It just immediately hooks a right turn and just falls apart.
yeah, it's not a very as you can see.
Also, may I just add, a man in khaki shorts and a pink polo top whipping a sandwich at you. Can you even go back into work if you're that police officer and be like, I got him. I got him.
Okay, here's another weird piece of this story. I am way too into this stupid story, by the way. It's
No,
absolutely
no,
ridiculous.
this is the news that needs to be heard, Johnny. The lamestream media. That's why we have podcasts like this
That's
to
right.
talk about real news for real people.
Independent media that we are. So there's another element to the story that the officer went back and is laughing about it. His buddies got him like a stuffed plushy sub sandwich, and they're all kind of laughing about it. So they're trying to juxtapose him joking about it to him being supposedly in fear for bodily injury.
Correct. Yeah. You can't have it both ways, Barrel. Just can't have it both ways. I love the visual. That could be Twismo. We still have Twismo to come, but that could have been it right there. How has that not been a Twismo for us yet?
Oh goodness, that is something else.
Yes. I hope Sandwich Guy gets the justice he so rightly deserves.
I do too.
And
Justice
I
for
hope he
Sandwich
gets
Guy.
justice for Sandwich Guy. We're starting the GoFundMe right now. If we get to $6, he gets his foot long back. So let's do this. Let's make it happen.
That's right.
Make it happen, folks. Make it happen. Well, speaking of, well, I don't think this is a foot long, but guys are trying to get a foot long from this particular gentleman. This is Pitya Moulin,
Mm-hmm.
also known as Chang Yai Modify. He's 50 years old, and he offered bizarre on the go genital enhancements over in Thailand.
On the go.
You heard that correct. You heard that correctly. On the go genital enhancements. When you just don't have enough time for your wang to get super large and a doctor's appointment, call this guy who will show up and give you on the go genital enhancement.
Yeah.
So his bungling antics, they say, unfolded inside his beaten up 1990 Toyota Corolla, is what he would pull up in. Now, I don't know about you, Johnny, but any doctor worth their salt usually has a better car than a 90s Corolla.
They usually lease.
Yes, exactly. So if you were to call Dr. Modify here and say, hey, I need one of those on the go genital enhancements you're talking about, and he pulls up in a 90 Corolla, don't you go, you know what? I'm going to cancel that appointment.
Well, on the go, yeah, exactly. On the go suggests that it's an impulse purchase, that you were just walking down the street going, you know what? Wish my dick was bigger.
I mean, who among us hasn't had that thought. And then a 1990 Corolla pulls up and goes, "Hey, I can help you with that."
I'm so glad you happened by.
Yes. The cops launched a probe. You can't say that into the doctor. They found the unlicensed suspect was promoting penis enlargement, circumcision, and pearl implantation surgeries through social media. What the
I don't know what that is.
fud? What's a pearl implantation? I understand penis enlargement and circumcision. Not quite sure what pearl implantation surgery would be.
I'm not looking that up on my browser.
Nope, not here either. By the way, Dr. Modify does have a TikTok account, and on it he claimed he was able to deliver his services for convenience. But he made no mention of the fact patients would be going under the knife while sitting in the back of his 1990 Corolla. He wouldn't drive you to any type of exam room. The Corolla was the exam room. Look at that. Got
God
so much space
almighty.
back there. He even moves the seats up for you. Authorities detained the bogus practitioner on October 18th while he was in the middle of a baffling pearling procedure. His last operation was taking place in a makeshift operating theater. His gray sedan parked along the side of the road. After being caught red-handed, cops seized 189 different kinds of pearls, local anesthetics, surgical blades, needles, and other equipment. What is this? You know what? I don't want to look at my browser, but this pearling thing seems to be pretty popular. He's got 189 of them around. They said all the tools were allegedly used in unsanitary conditions. What? The back of a 90s Corolla from Dr. Modify with his on the go general enhancement? That would be unsanitary?
Right.
He reportedly admitted to have having no medical training and only learned the procedures from watching videos on social media. I didn't,
Oh
I'm
God.
not a I'm not a doctor, but I stayed at Holiday Inn.
Hmm.
He did not even have sterilizing equipment to prevent infections. He said, "I became interested in this kind of work, so I studied and developed it as a side hustle to supplement my income. I've been doing it for around a year." He charged 23 bucks for the pearl implants, 114 for circumcisions, and 229 for the penis enlargement injections.
Wow.
Procedure saw the patients have their private parts pumped with filler, giving a girthier appearance. Police said he was charged with practicing medicine without registration or authorization. Crime is punishable by 3 years in jail and a fine up to $687 or both. And
You
shocking
know something?
images show the underhanded surgeon being led away by cops as his questionable scheme was busted. Social media pictures also show pearl implants the doctor allegedly attached to patients. I don't I they're like, oh my god. There's pictures along with this story
Oh.
of the pearls that he would put on there. Um, the police said pearl implants or penis enlargement injections carry a high risk of inflammation or infection, potentially resulting in penile dysfunction. We'd like to warn those involved to immediately cease their activities, as police will continue to monitor and make arrests accordingly. So, Doctor Modifies on the go
Peter, I don't
penis
think.
enlargement.
Brian, your objections are duly noted. Now hit the gas. You know that would never work again in a million years. Don't need it to, Brian. You know, sometimes.
Maybe that's what Doctor Modify was doing.
Yeah.
Hook you up to his '90s Corolla and just yank it away.
That seems just about as logical.
Yes.
Love it when that song comes on.
I do too.
It's time for the
Oh, total destruction, it seems like.
it's time for This Week in Slow-Mo. And we have another one of these instances, Mike, where there is a marathon going on and somebody decides they try to cross in front.
You can't do that.
You
The
shouldn't do
earlier
that.
Twismo that we had is you can go back from a high school track meet where a kid just got ran over by a 400-meter sprinter. You can't just walk out in front of people when they're running.
Hang on, I forgot to pull the video.
No, that's okay.
That's okay. We'll edit this part out.
Yeah, that's all right.
This is what happens. See, this is the joy of seeing it live, is you
Right.
see this sort of thing. Right? There we go.
Exactly.
All right. So let's
All right, got the
watch how
marathon.
this.
Got it.
Got it. Thank you. Thanks for stalling
Okay.
for me.
Of course. Do what I can. I should have talked more about marathons.
That's okay. Here we go.
You can't.
You shouldn't.
No. And only one person. You can't run side by side through all of that.
Yeah, it's a whole family of ducks trying to get across, and it's not going to happen.
No, you can't do that.
Let's watch it again in slow-mo.
Oh, there's the issue. The one goes down first, the non-athletic. What is so important you have to cut across a marathon too, by the way?
Yeah, they're trying to get across the street, and lady trips, and she falls right into
Is
one
there
of
a
the...
dog involved too?
Oh,
Holy
yeah, there's a
shit, I
dog.
didn't see the dog. There's 3 people and a dog
Mm-hmm.
running through a marathon. That sounds like a great start for a joke.
And, when you look at... They're looking both ways, and when you look at it, there really wasn't a lot of clearance there to make the jump. I mean, there's nothing... You don't run there.
No, you do not. This poor lady who's just trying to finish a marathon. You know what? That's the lady who's been training for a whole year. This was going to be like, I finally did it. And look at this jackass. Doesn't even offer to pick up his fellow compatriot.
No, yeah, there's no camaraderie.
No, what a dick.
Let's zoom in on this a little tighter. Look how happy that kid is, though. He's having a blast.
Oh, yeah. They're loving life. They're like, woo! Oof. And then this jackass, look at that. Doesn't even stop to help her up.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't, and that's going to come up in a little bit too, because that was almost another calamity.
Okay. Well, they got their Starbucks, and does she trip over the dog?
That's a good question.
It seems like she trips over the dog or the dog leash.
No, I think she's just stupid.
She just bips it. Yeah, she just can't walk.
I think she's just completely out of shape. Looking at all these
she's
in
got
shape.
sandals.
Yeah.
Oh, she got slides. That's why it catches.
Here's a little closer on our victim.
Oh, that poor lady. She had nowhere to go.
Right.
The lady in front of her also screwed her. Like, she couldn't get over.
Yeah, and that's why I asked the question, is like, why did they think they could make it across? There was no opening there.
No, there wasn't. There wasn't a wide enough opening for maybe a person, maybe the kid could have made it through.
Yeah.
But not a kid, a dog, and 2 grown-ass adults with coffees in their hands.
Boy, and you're right. Talk about the stars aligning in the worst possible way. Of all those people that were in that clump, it's that one lady that gets hit.
Right. Like, the first person is able to barely get by before the disaster hits. But then this poor lady just gets nailed, and then this jackass behind her doesn't even help her up.
Now, watch, now the runner behind her, who doesn't stop to help, as he goes past her, look how close he comes to clocking her in the face.
Oh, no!
With his knee.
What an absolute jackass that guy is.
He does this little soft shoe. See him kind of dance around her.
Yeah.
And then he almost pops her right in the head.
What?
That was close, right?
I'm not a marathon runner. I've done a couple of 5Ks, but isn't it a universally kind of accepted rule that if a runner goes down, your fellow runners pick you up? Because I'm pretty sure that son of a bitch is not trying to make a time so he can make it into the New York Marathon or post the Boston Marathon.
Yeah. And really, nobody stops to help.
No. The only person that stops to help is the person involved in the causing the calamity in the first
Right.
place, helping their own friend up.
Right.
Down
Oh
goes
yeah. So
Frazier.
she goes right into her stomach.
There's nothing this woman could
Oof.
do. Like, it's
Yeah.
just all of a sudden there's a woman's face right in your crotch.
Just
Just
gets
wham.
her. Yeah. Probably knocked the wind out of her too.
Well, and to the woman's credit, she does at least attempt to try to then bypass just fell into her crotch, but they're just so much splaying out there she can't. The arm goes akimbo and she just gets tripped.
Yeah. And I don't want to shame anybody, but there's a lot of force there. There's a lot of
That's what I was saying.
mass.
That's what I was trying to be delicate about it too, saying there was a
Yeah.
lot of things flying all over the place. And she almost makes it. I think she almost makes it after the initial contact. I believe it's the arm of the individual when it flails is what knocks her down on the back end.
Oh really?
Yeah. Watch right here. She's
Yeah.
good, and it's the arm that clips her.
She
So
might
the
trip. She might be
initial
tripped. Yeah.
impact,
Right there.
it's the arm right there. Initial impact, she's okay. She's off stride, but okay. It's the arm that she steps on
Yeah.
that gets her.
By the way, this is even more precise video analysis than the Dodgers and Blue Jays right there at the end, right? I mean, we're really.
Oh, yes. Oh, we're way better than John Smoltz. That dumbass. I don't want to listen to him say anything.
Oh crap. Yeah, you're right. I think it's her arm.
Yep, it's the arm that gets her. I feel like she did that on purpose now. And then there's that jackass that finds his way through.
All right, let's watch the anguish cam because there's a lot of moments of anguish here, and more than I realized. Okay, she knows.
Yep, she's going down.
Interestingly, other runners know.
Whoa! I didn't even notice the lady. There's the initial lady in bright orange,
Mhm.
but even behind her is another lady going, "What the fudge is going on here?"
Yeah, so they know this is horrible. That poor lady.
That poor lady. I feel bad for her. Ah, twice the anguish for that one. The first one of knowing she's going to hit the pavement, and the second one knowing that she's down there now.
She probably spilled her coffee in her ear.
That's the amazing thing. Like, I didn't see the coffee fly anywhere.
No,
Does
she
she have one
didn't
of those
let
little
go.
stoppers in it?
Yeah, I don't know. She never let go. Look at her.
Ah, poor
Glasses all over
That
the
poor-
place.
I feel terrible for her.
And then
And
just
here comes Jackass McGee.
ah,
Whoop. Sorry. Running
bodies
through.
everywhere. Bodies
Yeah.
everywhere.
Absolute chaos.
Yeah.
And that guy is almost as bad as George Costanza. He's not helping anybody.
No, you're right. He should get his shoes taken away from him or whatever. However you punish a marathoner.
Whatever place he finished, drop him to the bottom of his age group.
That's right.
For
That's
just being
exactly
an
right.
absolute jackass. Idiots.
It's been another adventure through Mike and Molson Mangle the News. We appreciate all of you for chiming in, stopping in, looking in, calling in, whatever you're doing. And we'll be back next Wednesday, huh? Right?
Yeah,
No conflicts?
I believe so.
Okay.
No conflict. Make sure you like, share, subscribe when the little quickies come out and everything else. And make sure you ring notification bell to know when we go live, which will be next Wednesday.